wiping it down after each speaker. So if you would like to use the hand sanitizer that is at the top of the podium prior to touching it or after you touch, it's up to you. It's truly up to you. So, Dr. Lever, you're going to lead us off in that too. If you'd please stand.
Let us pray. Let us pray. Almighty God, we give you thanks for this opportunity to gather together in person this day. This past year has been a challenging one for our educational system and for all within it. The COVID-19 virus has left us searching for the appropriate balance between what is safe to do and what is not safe to do within our centers for learning. And so we give you thanks for our schools, which have provided for our students alternative ways in which they could continue their learning in these difficult times. We live in a world in which there is too much ignorance and just as much misunderstanding. We recognize that many in the world today are not afforded the opportunities for education that are ours here in Clay County. We give you thanks for our educational system and for those within it, who through their commitment to it are daily making our community a better place to live and grow together. We thank you for sound administrators who oversee the affairs of our educational system and who exercise good stewardship over the resources entrusted to their care. We thank you for dedicated teachers whose passion for learning inspires the same within their students so that their students can learn and grow and expand their realm of knowledge. We thank you for competent counselors whose sensitivity to the mental and emotional health and well-being of children and youth enable our students to grow and flourish within our schools. We thank you for effective coaches who provide athletic programs to build strong bodies and an appreciation for lifetime sports and the opportunity for building community outside of the classroom. We thank you for committed students who come to our schools, recognizing the blessings and opportunities that are theirs through education and who seek to grow mentally, emotionally, and physically through the opportunities afforded them. And we thank you for the sound leadership of our school board members here tonight, whose willingness to look at areas of new opportunities within our schools will enable our opportunities for learning to grow, and whose vision for the future will enable us to continually move forward in education in a world that is growing as fast as our knowledge of it is changing. And we thank you for those who are here, for all who are here, who when they work together, break down the walls of ignorance and brighten the future through enlightenment and understanding, opening the doors of opportunity for our children and youth and a brighter future for all. Amen. Let us join together in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Lever. Calling the regular school board of Clay County meeting to order for June 24th, 2021. I saw someone in the audience that I would like to ask to come to the podium, Heather Hoffman. Heather Hoffman is with the Clay County Health Department. If you would still give us your name and your address, please. It's my understanding that you are joining us tonight for a special reason.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Heather Huffman, Florida Department of Health, Clay County, 1305 Ottawa Avenue in Green Cove Springs. So thank you for having me. What a year it's been is all I can say. Yes, 16 months. Not that we've been counting. It's interesting because I was saying to a colleague of mine recently that there was a few months in there. I absolutely can't remember what happened in those months. They just blur together. I think it was about this time last year that I was here trying to answer as many questions that I could for you at that time so that you could make well-informed decisions on behalf of your students and your staff. I'm always available. And so I really wanted to come here today because you really do have an outstanding team here, but there is one that really excelled this past year, and I really would be remiss if I didn't come here to let you guys know that. And so I will ask Terry Dennis to join me. She has been absolutely amazing. Terry and I talked multiple times a day, every day of the week, even on the weekends for months and months and months. And so I just want to say that this school district would not have been successful this past year without this young lady right here. This woman, my colleague, my partner in crime, and she's become my friend. And I feel very blessed to know her. She inspires me, the amount of energy she has, the amount of professionalism she has, and I just want her to be recognized for the work she has done. Miss COVID Contessa is going to probably give up her hat this next year. We have a little bit of a tweaking of that with a little bit more resources, but this school district would not have managed as successful as it had she not been in a small amount of a sabbatical with the Department of Health for the last year. So I want to say thank you to Terry for everything that she's done.
Well done, Terry. Mr. Broski.
Madam Chair, if I can just kind of join in as superintendent, Terry Dennis serves in the role of chief of staff, and there's no doubt that when you have people that work as closely to you as she does, I'll just certify that that's an all-star right there. And really, we would have had to hire 3 people to do her job. And I think the most amazing thing is I listened to every phone call that she would get about COVID. You get amazingly consistent and professional answers. And it really would have taken 3 people. So no doubt, we love you here, Terry, and you do great work.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you, Heather.
I want to know where Corona Crown is.
We could think of all sorts of things to do with Corona. And I'm sorry. This is a school board meeting. Next, Ms. Troutman, would you come forward, please? We're recognizing our 2021, 2022 retirees.
Yes, we are. Excuse me. So tonight we are going to honor 125 employees who are retiring from the school district from the 2021 school year. These 125 employees served almost 3,000 years of service. So that is amazing. I want to thank, before we start the video, Michelle Biley for putting this together for us and gathering all the photos, and for all, I know some of y'all were contacted to help get pictures so that we can honor these employees in this way. So for these employees, whether they served in our schools, whether they drove the children to the schools, whether they taught in the schools, or whether they maintained our schools, they help to inspire these young doctors, scientists, lawyers, mechanics, future educators, maybe a president, maybe a future board member. So no matter what their role was in our district, we're a team, we're a family, and it takes all of them. So each one of these people are very special. It is a 9-minute video because we want them all to be honored. And also thank you all for your comments that you put, your quotes up there to help add something. I hope they enjoy it. It's going to be on social media so that they can share it with their family members as well. So we're ready to roll.
That was impressive. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And please thank Michelle for us. That was truly impressive. And definitely brought some tears when I saw a lot of friends up there. That was awesome. I failed to welcome everyone earlier, and I do apologize for that. So at this point in time, I would like to welcome all of you to our school board meeting. I mean, there were all these exciting things going on, so, we unfortunately skipped that part. This meeting is our opportunity as your elected representatives to collaborate openly and make decisions that will decide the future direction of our public schools and the education of our children here in Clay County. If you wish to address the board on an agenda item, there will be an opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. Please fill out a card, which are in the back of the room, and please hand them to one of our deputies. I guess there's oh, there we are. Thanks for waving, guys. Okay. No additional cards will be accepted once the board moves to the public comment section under presentations from the audience. Your participation is welcomed and appreciated. And unfortunately, at this point, I'm going to ask for a last call for any comment cards that are going to be filled out. If anyone has a card, if you want to raise it up or wave your hand or whatever, make certain that we see. Thank you. Just wanted to be certain that everyone has the opportunity to address us. Mr. Bickner, I don't believe we've received any comment cards, correct? Making certain. Thank you. We do not have a school showcase tonight, although that presentation was our school showcase. That just, all of the people who have contributed, how many hours did you say? Over 3,000 years? Almost 3,000 years of service. And when there's certain jobs, when I saw that some of these bus drivers had put in 25 and 28 years of experience, and I thought, that is dedication, that is truly love. That's passion. Thank you again to everyone. For the adoption of the consent agenda, I just wanted to make a note that items C7 and C8 have been pulled. May I have a motion to approve the rest of the consent agenda at this time?
I'll move approval.
Thank you, Ms. Kirkus. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Gilhausen. There's been a motion by Ms. Kirkus, a second by Ms. Gilhausen. Is there any conversation, discussion, anything? All right. Ms. Clark.
I just want to clarify, like for example, I know we've had different people call and ask questions, so I just want to make it clear. I know on Blackboard, for example, we do not sell student information. So I just want to make sure that anybody listening knows that. And I think we had in there as well the Restart program. Is that part? No, not part of this?
No, not
No,
this
the
time.
others, that'll come back at the next meeting.
Okay, so I think that was it, really.
Okay. Without any further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying no. I don't hear any. The ayes have it. And I just want to make a comment. We just also approved an agreement, I believe, for the Clay High swim team to swim at a local neighborhood association and talk about successful swimmers.
Yep.
Anybody who gets the clay today sees Sarah Stotler on the front, Sheridan Dressel. Just a huge shout out to those women as well as Caleb Dressel for representing Clay County so well. We are so darn proud of you and good luck in everything that you do. Sorry, all these little sidetracks today, sorry. Next, we do not have a CCA update this evening. Vicki Kidwell is out of town, enjoying her summer, I hope, but she did send her well wishes to all. And Lonnie Roberts is not here. Is anyone else here in Lonnie's position or place to give us an update for CESPA? It doesn't appear that we have anyone here. Thank you. And now our superintendent's update. Mr. Brodsky.
Before I give this update, I want to say for the record that I looked at the faces of all 125 people that just retired, and they were all smiling. So please put that on the record. This evening, I'm going to talk to you about third grade proficiency scores. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about summer school. We also, couple exciting events we had in the recent weeks, Teacher Leadership Academy, our Leadership Institute, and kind of talk about gearing up for 21-22 with the vision for this upcoming school year. So when it comes to reading proficiency, let me just say this. I'm extremely proud of our district. In a pandemic, we went from 10th in 2019 to 8th in the state. A little shout out, perhaps one of the biggest climbs, Charles E. Bennett went up plus 16. And so that is awesome for them. Let me just kind of say this, it was kind of a weird year, and I'm very proud of our teachers and staff for maintaining focus. At the end of the day, what students learn is really how we're measured, and so that's very important. And looking at that, we're a full 9 points above the state average, and I couldn't be more proud. Of course, this is one data point out of many, but it's a really good sign, and I'm very, very proud of our efforts there. I want to talk a little bit about summer school. This is the most students that we've ever had on record in a summer school session. And you know that everybody was concerned about COVID slide and the fact that students would regress academically. We challenged the team to come up with innovative programs that we could offer to students and target students that need help over the summertime. And so I just wanted to share with the board and share publicly the numbers of students that are currently in school, now as we speak, with transportation, lunch, and the whole 9 yards.
Question for you, the 6 through 12 virtual credit recovery, is that a new program this year, or have we had that in the past?
We've had that in the past, but less students. It seems like more and more students. One of the issues that happened this past year is just students, sometimes chose a virtual option and never actually completed the work, and now it's time to pay the piper over summertime. So just want to kind of point that out. Also want to talk to you about Teacher Leadership Academy. This was a really exciting event that occurred. In talking about All-Stars, Jenny Shepard is our supervisor of professional learning and did an outstanding job. We had over 400 teachers volunteer to come in after 2 days of summer. You want to talk about a tease. You get 2 days of summer and then you come right back for some training. And, one of the things I've always known is that it takes a team of people to be involved. And so the fact that 400 teachers gave up their time to come in and be trained on how to make their professional learning communities more effective, we then know that the work of many together as a team is far superior to anybody individually. And so I feel really good on the direction for next school year academically for 21-22. And these individuals will help lead the work. Yes, there's formal titles, there's a principal, there's assistant principals, but there's leaders that are out there, and those leaders are in the classroom, and those leaders need to step forward, and lead some of their colleagues. And I believe the training, as well as many other things that we're doing, will help us in that effort. We also had all of our administrators in, 2 days for elementary, 2 days for secondary. We did, again, Jenny Shepard organized this. It was fantastic. We gave a survey and had the survey results, and the results were glowing, about the direction, about where we're going for next school year, about our vision for learning and fostering a culture of learning within our schools. And really, Clay County to take that next step, like we always say, hey, we're a good district. We moved up into the top 10. We're an A-ranked district. Well, when you're the leader of that organization, it becomes, how do you get that next notch, right? How do you do that? Well, you do that the way we've always done it in Clay County. We do that through our people, right? And putting faith in our people and giving them the tools they need in order to influence others in the right direction in the classroom. And so we're looking forward to a successful school year next year. a normal school year, remember, in regard to COVID and all of that, again, I'll state it again, the goal is to have as normal a school year as possible, as fast as possible. We've done that through not requiring masks next year, no longer having OCO. We still have to have safety precautions in place because it's the prudent thing to do when you're in charge of other people's children. It's just that simple. So looking forward to next school year and having a normal school year. No longer will it be unprecedented. I threw that in just for BOLA. Just for BOLA, I threw that in there. Okay, the instructional vision for next year. I showed this to you before, but I want you to kind of visualize this as I describe it. You could see that at the very heart of everything is that we have high expectations for all students. All students can learn. That is, that encompasses the whole instructional vision. Then you could see the next outer ring is strong instruction. It just doesn't happen naturally. Teachers in the classroom are the people that make that happen. So then when you're looking at it even further and kind of honing back into the bullseye there, you could see, and maybe you can't read the actual words, but you can kind of visualize it as I portray it. We're looking at strong instruction as being the cornerstone for students as well as high expectation. And within that, you can see student engagement. We want students to be actively engaged. There's a difference between compliance and commitment. Right? There's two different things. You can always get compliance from people. Getting commitment is something different. A demonstration of understanding. We want students, we want to have checks along the way to see if in fact students are learning. I always use the example of putting your ladder of success on the wall to climb up and find out you're on the wrong wall. That's kind of bad, right? So you have to have checks along the way to ensure that students are progressing in the right path. Academic ownership to me means that the student does the work of learning. The teacher already has a degree. We're not concerned about their learning. We are concerned about the student's learning, so that the student has to be an active participant. And you can kind of see the beige area there. You can see it's two parts: grade level content and rigorous tasks. Here, you want students to have authentic experiences that maximize them to the greatest extent possible. And those activities should be on grade level or above so that the student is challenged or stretched. So this way, when they are assessed, that would seem easy compared to what they've done in the classroom. And kind of centered in new, if you will, from what we had talked about in the past, is the culture of learning. At the end of the day, it's still a child that we're teaching. And so we always should be mindful of the issues that children have and work to improve that so that students can in fact learn. If students are concerned about other things, even more basic things on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, those need to be addressed first. Otherwise, they're not going to learn. So you can see, I think the visual graph is kind of helpful. And then, of course, you see at the bottom, one team, one goal, one clay. You can also see that learning's not finite. That's an infinity symbol. I had to learn that myself, which means learning doesn't end, right? And you can see the one team, one goal, one clay moniker there. So really, for next school year, we were telling our administrative team there's three things that we're focusing on: high quality literacy instruction, particularly in K2. We want to make sure that we have an intense focus there. That'll pay dividends. There's a lot of research that talks about a student not being able to read by third grade as being pivotal, and the statistics are really unbelievable when it comes to their success for the rest of their career through school. So by third grade, a student needs to be able to learn, needs to be able to read. And there's a difference between learning to read and then reading to learn. At one point, the student then converts, and it's no longer we're teaching them to read. They're using reading as a way to learn. So you see the one clay vision, we're still a focus, and professional learning communities. the power of having other individuals involved in the process for teachers to come up with common lesson plans, common assessments, analyze the data together, and really focus on 4 questions. You know, what do we want students to learn or be able to do? How do we know if they have actually learned it? What do we do if they don't learn it? And then what do we do once they have mastered it, once they have learned it? And those 4 questions are what we would call essential questions. It actually, before was, it seems so simple, right? But when you think about it, if that's the primary focus, and you have the energy of all of these people working together in a common direction, sky's really the limit. And I really believe the sky's the limit for Clay County. You know, a lot of people ask me, they say, well, it's summertime, what are you doing? You know, like during the summertime. Summertime is probably, it's different, but the work is, you know, the work is different, but the intensity is most certainly there, and we certainly feel the pressure of August being right around the corner, you know. It might seem like a long time, but it's really not, to accomplish all the things we want to accomplish, to be ready and have a successful year next year. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Broski. And excellent news about our third grade reading scores. That's awesome. And I know I'm not supposed to say reading, I'm supposed to say ELA or something, yeah, whatever. Anyway, in our discussion items, our first discussion items is D1, appoint 1 board member and 1 citizen member to serve on the 2021 Value Adjustment Board. It's my understanding, Ms. Gilhausen?
Yes, I received an email from the county commission contact that manages the Value Adjustment Board, and they're requesting that they keep consistency with board members. It makes it obviously more fluent for them. So if you guys are okay with that, I'm fine to serve another term.
Thank you, Ms. Gilhausen. And Ms. Kerkis, you spoke with our committee,
I did. I spoke
our
with-
citizen, is
I
what I'm
spoke
trying to
with
say.
Mr. Joe Wiggins.
Thank you.
And he would be happy to stay on for consistency also.
Awesome.
Very good.
Awesome. So that is handled. Our next discussion item is to appoint 1 board member to serve as Florida School Boards Association Advocacy Committee representative.
Before we move forward, did we have to vote on that?
No, we can just assume it's not a vote.
Just
We've not
consensus.
voted in the past on
Okay.
it. We discussed that. Oh, okay. And then with the next one, we have to have someone who will step forward for the Advocacy Committee and to serve as Advocacy Committee alternate. In the past, for the past 4 years, I've been the Advocacy Committee representative, and Ms. Kerkis has been the Advocacy Committee alternate, unless someone else wants to step forward, and this is why we don't have to vote on it. Ms.
I know
Kerkis
Ms.
and I
Gilhausen really
discussed-
wants this one.
Ms.
No, I'll
Kerkis
do
and I
it.
discussed that we would swap. So for the next
would you like
year,
to have
Ms.
it?
Kerkis is going to be the representative and Mrs. Bola is going to be the alternate. And unless there's a concern with the rest of you, then we will continue with that. Awesome. Under D3, there are no human resource special actions, thank goodness. And under C7, this is one of the items that we pulled from the consent agenda. The contract between Pace Center for Girls, Inc. and School Board of Clay County. And Ms. Bullock, I believe you pulled this
I
item.
did, actually. I pulled C7 and C8.
Which is coming up after that,
And for
exactly.
both the same reasons, so I'll kind of talk about both of them if that's okay. Fortunately, I got my answer. I had put a call into the district office, but I didn't get it until after I'd pulled the items. My question was about transportation regarding those 2 programs for the Keystone Kids, for PACE and for AMI, because we've had that in the past, and of course AMI is moving to another location. And I just wanted to make sure that was still in place. And I talked to Treasurer Pickett, and she assured me that she had worked with Mr. Sweat, Transportation, and they have, and also the Miss Maria at AMI and Destiny at PACE, and they've worked all that out. So that will continue on. So that's what my question was, and I just wanted to make sure that was still going to happen. So I've been satisfied with my answer. Thank you.
We do need to ask for a motion for approval for C7, contract between Pace Center for Girls and the School Board of Clay County.
I so move. I'm sorry.
I'll second.
Ms. Bullock moved and Ms. Gilhousen second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. And once we vote on that, there we go. Great. And under C8, the agreement between the School Board of Clay County and AMI Kids. And do I hear a motion for approval?
I'll
Ms.
move
Clark?
approval.
Oh, Ms. Clark moves
I'll
approval and
second.
Ms. Karakis seconds it. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. And lastly, under D4, the 2020-2021 SREF Casualty Safety Sanitation Relocatable and Fire Safety Inspection. Do I hear a motion for approval?
Move approval?
Second.
And Ms. Karakis has moved approval, and Ms. Gilhousen has seconded it. Is there any discussion on this item? Not hearing any discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. And the motion carries. And it gets so quiet when we're voting. I love it. Mr. Bickner.
I have nothing, thank you.
Well, thank you. And going down the list, Ms. Gilhousen, do you have anything you'd like to bring up?
Oh, no, nothing for me. Thank you.
No comments? Ms. Bullock?
Just that, we're glad all the graduations are over. Attended Orange Park Elementary, Bannerman, and AMI. Also went to an AMI fundraiser, and it was very successful, and I appreciate it because that's kind of a stopgap program, and I really like that very much. Also, several of us went to the Neptune Park dedication, which was very interesting. I learned a lot that day. Things I didn't know about that, about the plane and all of that, so I appreciate it. Also, I had requested, we've had the feasibility study for the Keystone Schools at the last agenda review, and I've requested from the district that we have a community meeting to talk about that feasibility study with questions and answers of Mr. Broski, and he's going to get with the operations department, and so hopefully toward the end of July, we'll have that set up, and I appreciate that opportunity because I know a lot of our Keystone people are interested in seeing what the study said. Thank you.
Ms. Karakis?
Thank you. I don't have very much. The Neptune Park ribbon cutting was very, very nice, and it really touched your heart when you hear the history of it, and there were several of us there. And we had FSBA that, some of us, attended, and it was really great to be out there with other school board members from the other districts, and, I forgot, what that was like to be in a room full of people like us that all care about school boards and the schools, and just the whole atmosphere. It was really dynamic, and we had some really good breakout sessions, and I think we all enjoyed it, and I'm glad we were able to go. And really just congratulations to the 125 retirees, 3,000 years, my goodness, and wow, I mean, it's impressive. Like you said, those that did 30 and 40 years on a school bus. I've done one day on a school bus, and that's a chore. But no, congratulations to all of them, and congratulations to our district on our third grade reading levels improving. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the scores are when they come in, and just wish everybody a safe and happy summer. Thank you.
Ms. Clark?
Nothing for me, really.
Okay,
Everything's going great. We're holding the fort down.
There we go, there we go. A reminder to everyone, this is our first week of July school board meeting, so we will not have a school board meeting in the month of July. I wanted to just bring up Take Stock in Children. We got a balanced scorecard report from them, and we passed 100%. We received the gold level again in Take Stock in Children. This is a program that we run through the YMCA and the state. And we graduated 9 students, and we've admitted an additional 12 students. So they are doing a phenomenal job in helping our children succeed and in paying for college, the first couple of years of college, which to me is amazing. Thank you to the community for participating in that program and for contributing to that program. Also, a shout out to all of the teachers who hear, oh, you're a teacher, you don't work during the summer. After hearing that for close to 20 years, it is amazing how much you do accomplish during the summer, how much learning goes on, how important it is to collaborate with other teachers and to reach out, and even if it's just reading some of the books that your students are going to be reading the following year and taking the time to learn. Please, teachers, take some time for yourselves as well and your families and enjoy the time that you have, because August, as we all know, is right around the corner, as Mr. Broski told us, and we'll be preparing for that and really looking forward to it. So on that note, if there's no other discussion, we are adjourned at 6:45.